friends. Doing 2 reading vlogs back to back was not on my bingo card for 2024, to be honest. I didn't think I'd really be like a reading vlogger. But I'm kind of cheating. I'm kind of starting late. I'm 50 pages into Good Girl Complex by Elle Kennedy, and I have a complicated relationship with Elle Kennedy because I read 4 of the off-campus books. I know like there's 5 because like the last one wraps them up. Not interested. I don't care about those kind of books. But I read all 4 of those off-campus books pretty much back to back. And I kind of like hate read them because I read them like I like books like this because it's like I can already tell it's gonna be kind of the same thing. Where it's like mindless, turn my brain off. I know what's gonna happen, and the writing is like not that good, but I'm gonna read the whole thing because I like reading books like this kind of like as a buffer in between like other things that I'm wanting to read. Because yesterday I finished Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren. So close to being a 5-star read for me. There was just like a couple things at the end that like didn't sit right with me and kind of like not ruined it because it was still so fantastic, but I just really loved pretty much like all of the middle part a lot more than I liked the ending. So then I decided I wanted to pick this up because I got all 3 of these in a box set at a Books A Million like sale because I got like all 3 of the books for like $20. Like I don't even know if it was that much, honestly. And it has very much like summer vibes still. And as we're like wrapping up with summer and kind of going into fall, I wanted to read all of these. So yeah, that's the goal, is to read this. I'm also like in my annotating era, so I've got like all the little tabbies, and I've been actually this one I have not been underlining that much, especially compared to the one I just read. I'm only like kind of annotating, but I already know I've got some problems with this book because first of all, it starts off with the male's point of view, which is really interesting. A lot of romance books don't do that. They kind of just put you in the female's point of view. So I did like that it started off like that. But he's kind of a jerk and an asshole, which sure, most of these love interests are. But he's just like kind of annoying. And then the girl, she seemed interesting because she's like a business owner who took a year off from school, but then her parents were like, okay, you have to go to college now. And it said she made 7 figures from her little website that's just like boyfriend fails, like people telling stories about their boyfriends. That doesn't make sense. First of all, lame idea, really boring. Second of all, how would you make 7 figures off of that? Nice try, babes. And she has a boyfriend already, who's also a jerk. He's a cheater, rich boy, kind of just throws money. He got her a gift card of like $2,000 for coffee for their like college coffee shop. And he said he didn't want to move in with her because then he'd have to like leave his home where he has like a chef and a pool and all kinds of stuff. Like he didn't want to leave that privilege behind, basically. So he's just a walking red flag. And in the first chapter, that boyfriend gets in a fight with the male main character, who is like the real love interest. Those 2 boys get in a fight, and now because of that like bar fight, because he worked at the bar, the male main character, his name's Cooper. Cooper works at the bar. Him and Preston, which is Mackenzie. Mackenzie's the girl. Why am I making this so complicated? Preston and Cooper got in a fight, so Cooper loses his job. Preston and Mackenzie are dating, so now Cooper wants to get revenge on Preston and is trying to go for his girl. Problem is, his girl, Mackenzie, is falling for it. She's like, it's not, I don't care that much because the man's also a cheater, but cheating is horrible, and I don't want to like read a book that's like founded on cheating. Because there's literally a part One that I just read. I force my body not to respond to his crudeness or the compliment. You have a boyfriend, Mackenzie. I spell it out in my brain. And then it spells boyfriend. Is it bad that I had to remind myself an alarming number of times tonight? Yeah. It genuinely does not make sense. Because she even says, like... She says it somewhere in here. She's talking to her roommate. Where she's like... Why be in a relationship if you want to date other people? And then she goes and cheats? It's thumbnail material right there. It just does not make sense. And so yeah, I'm already like pissed off because I just don't fuck with cheating. I don't think it's right. I don't think we should be like romanticizing cheating, emotional or physical. It hasn't been physical yet, but and it's not really emotional cheating yet because like she's still like, whatever, I have a boyfriend, but I know it's getting in that territory and it's gross and I don't respect that. Which, yeah, I already knew going in that I don't really like Elle Kennedy's writing anyway. But I was kind of hoping that this would be a step up from the deal, and I think it might actually be a step down. So, like, how that's possible? Not sure. And I don't even know if I want to keep reading this today. I might take a break from it. So, yeah, there's that, I guess. I'll keep you guys updated. Remember how I said I wasn't gonna read anymore? Well, I've only read a couple more pages. But I was thinking about how this book has serious after energy. And so the girlies that know, if you're familiar with after, whether it be from Wattpad or the like Wattpad adapted novels or the Netflix movies, all fucking terrible. So bad, but like so fun to hate watch. That's what this is giving. For sure. I do think that the dynamic of like the rich kids versus like the locals, I think that's really interesting and a fun thing to play with here. That's what one of the colors of my tabs that like aren't really wanting to stick because they're from Aldi. I think that's a really interesting dynamic she has going here, but she's not doing anything good with it. So yeah. Okay, so what bothers me, she says at the beginning of this chapter that she's 2 weeks into the semester and her boyfriend is just now taking her on a tour of the campus. I don't know, like, one, they could have done that the day she moved in. But even if she didn't want to do it the day she moved in, like, she's 2 weeks in, she would probably know most of the campus by then. Because even if you haven't been everywhere on campus, I mean, I guess I went to a little mountain school. So, like, I still knew where everything was 2 weeks in, even if I wasn't, like, super familiar with it. So the fact that it's been 2 weeks and he's just now taking her on a tour is like just weird. And it says, our first stop, of course, is Kincaid Hall, which houses the business school. Preston's family is a legacy at Garnet going back generations. Like, of course he has like a building with his last name and he's like really important. And I just think about this type of guy in real life. This like pompous ass white man who's so full of himself, thinks he's so fucking important, and at the end of the day, he's just a man. Literally at the end of the day, just a man who really does nothing except for trying to like ride the coattail of other people. That's what this is giving. And I'm only 60 pages in. Literally only 60 pages in. And I'm already just like, my gears are grinded. Was that right? This book is grinding my gears. Basically, is the point. But I just can't. There's a difference between like wanting to hate read and then like hating a book so much you DNF it. Because I know at the end of the day, I'm going to be entertained. It was like with Bride. I'm going to be entertained, even if I'm not completely enjoying myself. Um, it's been a while since I DNF'd a book. I don't typically DNF books. One, because I'm pretty good at like picking out books I know I'll like. And two, I usually can like suffer through to see if maybe it'll get more interesting. And then by the time where it's like I get most of the way through it, I'm like, well, fuck, I might as well see where it ends up, you know? Um, the last book I DNF'd was Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies because it was just so slow and so boring. And maybe part of it's on me because I did not look into this book at all before I checked it out from the library. I never really read the back of books or like the inside covers. I never really read summaries. I just dive in. And so when it said Encyclopedia of Fairies, I thought it was going to be a little more whimsical. Not necessarily an actual encyclopedia because I knew it was a novel, but I thought it was going to be more about like, I don't know, it was like a book about her writing a book and not in a cool, fun way. It was just like really, really slow, really boring, so I couldn't even try to like keep going. All that to say that even though I think this is gonna not be a great read, I'm still gonna read it because I'm gonna be entertained. I just repeated myself like 10 times. But yeah. He just called his girlfriend's like business or whatever, he just called it her little tech thing. If you really want to keep working on your little tech thing in college, then think of Garnet as your incubator. If my boyfriend called my business that allegedly made 7 figures a little tech thing, he'd be getting a punch or a slap or I don't know, something. That's so rude and disrespectful. The audacity of this man. I literally just put the phone down and flipped the page. She has done this 3 times already in 60 pages where she says, there's a lot to be said for blank. So this time it's, there's a lot to be said for compatibility. And then the last time it was literally back to back. Let's see if I can fucking find it really quick. Oh, okay. Page 18 and then page 19. There's a lot to be said for steady. There's a lot to be said for nice. Then fucking say it. If there's a lot to say it. Like, tell me why you're like bringing this up. Don't just be like, oh, there's a lot to say about that, and then don't fucking say it. Like the fact that she said that 3 times already, girl, come on. I cannot make this shit up. Again, literally just turned my phone off. I was just talking about that. A lot to be said for compatibility, blah blah blah. That's on page 60. I get to the bottom of page 61. There's a lot to be said for knowing a good thing when you've got it. Oh, what are we doing? Girl, what are we doing? Oh, I don't know why it bothers me so bad. I'm gonna need a damn tally of how many times she says this fucking sentence. Okay, you guys have to bear with me because my setup's not great right now because I'm reading in my beanbag. Um, but I just read the part where Cooper and Mackenzie rescue the dog. She comes home with them so she can like shower because she was wet from the ocean, blah blah blah. And it's just really gross to me. I don't like the way he like always has to turn something into like a sexual innuendo or a joke or whatever. Um, especially when she's made it abundantly clear multiple times that like I have a boyfriend. Sure, she's acting sus. So I don't really respect her for that. But for her to keep saying no, I have a boyfriend, and for him to still be like, is so gross. He's giving major like where my hugga type energy. And I just don't really like him that much. I feel like I could like Mackenzie and like maybe could get over the whole like cheating part. Um, not in real life, that would not happen, but like for a novel, whatever, maybe. Um, because she does have like some interesting things happening inside of her head. But mm-mm, I don't like Cooper. He's not the book boyfriend for me, I don't think. So yeah, now I'm 80 pages in, and gonna see what happens next. So Mackenzie just decided to not tell Preston, the boyfriend, about her and Cooper rescuing the dog and like everything that happened with that. And that is where I think boundaries are being crossed. Um, I mean, I guess it depends on the relationship and like what your boundaries are, but to me, that is like she's now like emotionally kind of cheating. If she's like, I'm just not gonna tell him about this friendship I have with this guy. Girl, you're just as bad as he is, even though you don't even know that he's cheating on you. Wah, wah. Maybe they do deserve each other after all. Maybe I'm just too poor to understand this book. Um, because now Mackenzie's talking to her boyfriend's friend's girlfriend and her friend. And those two are like they're all hanging out, but like the other two are kind of the ones talking. Um, and like one of the girls knows her boyfriend's cheating on her, but doesn't care. And Mackenzie's like, your boyfriend's cheating on you, and like you're fine with it. Um, and the girl's like, I mean, yeah, he's rich, so like I wouldn't break up with him over that, especially when it's like some scholarship girl. Um, and it says, for men like Seb and Benji and Preston, there are two kinds of women: a wifey and a Marilyn, the ones you marry and the ones you screw, which is like definitely true for her man. Um, and it's just really fucked up to think about it and really gross. Um, and I just think I'm too poor to understand the hype around this book and the romanticizing of cheating all over the place. I took a little bit of a reading break because one, I wanted to play Fall Guys. Two, this book is just really pissing me off. Um, I've gotten like 20 more pages in. I'm at 111 right now. Um, so far it's just been the same shit. He complains about her being rich. She's not happy with her business or whatever, which is still stupid to me. I don't get the whole like website making $1 million thing. Um, her website making $1 million. Um, but now they're at like the Boardwalk Carnival or whatever. Um, and I just bought my reading light is not working very well. Anyways, they got cotton candy, and this is in his point of view. So it says X-rated images burn a hole in my brain as I watch her suck and slurp on the sugary treat. Who sucks and slurps on cotton candy? You just like pinch a piece off and put it in your mouth and let it dissolve. Like there should be no sucking and slurping. So it's like trying to be like, and it's just majorly flopping for me. I flipped over a couple more pages, or like, whatever. I read a few more pages. Um, they're about to get on some kind of ride. I'm not really paying close enough attention to know what it is. And he kind of got her ass. Because I was talking about her, he like tried to bring up her boyfriend, and she didn't really want to talk about him. And he says, and the fact that you never talk about him tells me your heart's not in it. Kind of gagged. He kind of got her ass. And then you can tell that like he's right and she knows it. And she's like, you're way off. Honestly, I'm embarrassed for you. Why would you need to be embarrassed, girl? He's right. Um, and so then he's like, we made that bet, remember? And I won. So I know what I want. And he's like, kiss me or tell me you don't want me. Kind of gagged, to be honest. Kind of ate with that because she's a dirty, filthy cheater. Um, so I don't respect that. And I want this to get to the point where she breaks up with him or he breaks up with her or whatever. So then I can maybe kind of enjoy this couple. Because I do think that like him trying to push her buttons, like, could be cute, and this dynamic could be cute if it wasn't on, like, the basis of her cheating. And, like, him also knowing that her boyfriend cheats and not fucking telling her. Um, and, like, this whole, like, I know how this is gonna go, where, like, she's gonna somehow find out about, um, what he's trying to do, like, the revenge he's trying to do, basically, like, after. Um, but then they're gonna get back together in the end. Um, and one, I hate third act breakups. Um, and two, I know I had another point. I'd like if I was in her situation and one, I found out about the bet, and two, also found out that he knew my boyfriend was cheating on me this whole time. I could never be with someone like that. Um, God, I'm sitting here and I can see my book cart and I can see the two other books because I got the whole set without looking into them. Oh, girl, I did that to myself, huh? I really don't like that she was the one that initiated the kiss. I feel like maybe it would have made me feel kind of better if like it was more like him leaning in and she kind of just like froze. But for her to be the one to do it, and then she like immediately is like, "We shouldn't have done that, girl. No shit, you shouldn't have done that. You have a boyfriend." And she's like, the reason that she's with him is because he keeps her grounded. How? How does he keep her grounded when, like, we barely ever see them interact? And, like, I feel like the times that we have seen them interact, it's been all about him. And, like, the one scene where she was supposed to hang out with him, she ended up, like, he ended up going to play pool, and so she got left with other people. I don't know. Which, like, sure, nobody's here to see her with her boyfriend. We're here to see her with Cooper. But it's just not adding up, and it feels weird, and I don't like it. So I pretty much fell asleep right after I turned the camera off. Last time, a couple days ago. I didn't even like finish the chapter. I got to them kissing, and then like I flipped the page over, conked out. Then they kind of like argued. They kissed again, and then she dipped. She like freaked out and ran away, which like fair. And then she felt guilty, which is good. You want her to feel guilty. You don't want her to be like, yes, I love cheating. And to my surprise, she like immediately like told Preston what happened, and he's like, I don't care. But she did kind of still lie when she told him, because she was like, yeah, I met him at the bar and we were just drunk. Girl. And he's like, we have a future together. I'm not interested in throwing that away over some minor indiscretion. And I feel like being that calm about it should be a red flag for her, especially given the conversations that she's had with other people. And she's like, I guess Preston is a better person than I am. No, he cheats all the time and does more than just kissing. Like, she kissed him twice, which compared to what he's doing is nothing, you know? And he doesn't feel guilty about it. And so I just got to the part where Cooper's like, we have to talk. And she's like, no, we don't. Like, I'm done with you. I'm choosing Preston. This book is pissing me off so bad. Because Mackenzie's finally like, she's been drawn to this like abandoned hotel basically, and she's been wanting to expand, like do something bigger than just her websites, which like I don't blame her. Still don't get how these websites are giving her millions of dollars. But whatever. So she's like, I want to buy this hotel. And I'm like, yes, girl boss slay, business queen. And fucking Preston. He's saying that this is irresponsible, immature. He said, you agreed I'd be the breadwinner in the relationship while you focused on charity work and raising our family. And she's like, I always thought he was joking. I didn't know he was being serious. Because it's always been like he's never supported her websites, and he always calls it her silly little tech thing. And he was like, that was supposed to be a hobby. If I had known you were earning an income from it, I would have. And she says, what? You would have forced me to stop? And he was like, no, I would have guided you in the right direction. I'm sorry, you're trying to take over your dad's company. She's trying to build her own. Which, like, I still don't like that she's a cheater. I can never get past a cheater. But I just want her to say fuck you to this man. And I want her to have a successful business. And I want her to do what she wants to do and not do what a silly little white man wants her to do. For him to, he's like, you're gonna back out of the deal. First of all, the deal, haha, reference. Second of all, don't tell her what to do. Do not tell her what to do. And then the next chapter is a Cooper chapter. So I don't even get to, like, see more of that yet. Ooh, boy. This makes my blood boil, man. She finally broke up with that piece of shit boyfriend she has. Because they were at dinner with her parents. And, like, they were ignoring her the whole time. They were only talking to fucking Preston. And he's like, yeah, she's just gonna come to Atlanta with me and do all of her classes online. And she was like, we've literally never talked about that ever. And then she's finally like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And she walks out, and he follows her, and he's like, get back in there and apologize to your parents. And she's like, no, I will not be doing that. And also, I'm bringing it with you. And he's like, I love you. She's like, no, you don't. You cheat on me. And his response, I have to find it, is, who told you that? Like, didn't even try to argue. And she's like, you know what? There's somebody else I want to be with. So, things are getting juicy now. So I think it's time. Oh yeah. Sorry to anyone who hates breaking spines. It was time. So it's been about a week since I picked this up. One, because like I haven't wanted to read it, but also because I went to my mom's over the weekend, so it was a bit of a road trip for me. And so while I was there, I obviously just wanted to spend time with her. I actually didn't bring any books with me, but I came home with all of my old books, so a win's a win. Also, gotta show off the shirt. I got this from Etsy, and I can like put the shop name up if you're interested, because it's probably the best thing I've ever spent in my whole life, like the best thing I've ever bought, best $30 I've ever spent. I love my son. I love this picture of him because he's like smiling while he's sleeping. But yeah, I'm at work this morning, did all my little tasks, so now I can just sit here and read. I want to finish this, especially while it's still summer. It might take me a while to get to the next ones, like a long time, but yeah, hopefully I'll get some more through it. I'm like pretty much exactly halfway, so yeah, hopefully I'll get even further in this while I'm sitting here at work today. So I kind of forgot, like, where I was. So I forgot that, like, she'd just broken up with Preston. And so, of course, where does she go? Cooper's house, duh. Because that's kind of like why she broke up with him, was she was like, well, shit, Cooper never, like, treats me like this. And I really like that and appreciate that. So, like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So she went to his house. They got on with it. They got freaky with it. She took him to the penthouse and freaked it. And I wasn't necessarily expecting that. Like, I knew it was going to come at some point, but not, like, the first thing I read today. So, yeah. Luckily, I was, like, time-lapsing, because I was like, okay, it's been a while. I'll time-lapse while I read. I ended up time-lapsing me reading them, getting freaky with it. I honestly just keep forgetting that I'm reading this. Because, like, I came home and I just started doing other things instead of, like, wanting to keep reading the book that I'm reading, which really isn't normal for me. But I think now that the cheating part is over, I'm liking this a lot more. And for some reason at the beginning, the writing was just really not good, but now it's like, I don't know, normal romance novel like writing. So now it's not bad, but just that beginning part, I just really didn't fuck with. But now I'm pretty getting close to the end, closer, I guess. I'm on chapter 32. Um, and she already broke up with her boyfriend. That's not new, but she climbed on the roof in a storm. Hi, Buddha. Hi, pretty boy. Um, she climbed up in the storm to fix the roof of the girls that didn't really like her. But now they like her because she fixed the roof. And then she's out eating with them, and she gets a text from her roommate. Hi, boo boo. Um, and she's like, "Oh shit, my parents are in town." After she bailed on them, like she kind of went radio silent. And they're like, "You're coming home for a little while. We're gonna fix whatever like attitude you've got going on." And she literally like gets out her wallet, writes him a fucking check, and she's like, "Here's what you spent for my first semester. I'm dropping out and like I'm doing whatever the fuck I want." Which like, go girl. Another day of me reading this godforsaken book. Ignore the scratches. My cat got a little crazy this morning, but he's orange, so what do you expect? Anyways, Cooper's mom just like showed up out of nowhere, and he's like, "There's no car, just like the bags of groceries she brought." And so that's interesting. I honestly didn't expect his mom to show up. So yeah, we'll see what happens with her. So the mom is like already out of the picture. Like she was only there for like 2 days in the book and then left. It's still okay. It was technically 2 chapters, but like she was there for part of the one chapter and then was gone in the next. And I kind of was expecting something bigger to happen. I don't know if she comes back. There's not a whole lot of room for her to come back, but I kind of figured she was going to be more of a problem. She was kind of just like, "Your girlfriend's rich, good for you." So like she's already gone. I was about to say I feel like she stole something from Mackenzie because she was like, "Oh, I saw your bracelet in her purse." Like I know she's got money, and I just like flipped. The mom stole all of his fucking money. 12 grand his mom stole from him. That is so fucked up. But I would say overall, I'm like pretty close to being done. The writing has definitely gotten better. I feel like I said this shit last night, and I can just never remember what I've been saying. Because this is like taking so long for me to get through. But the writing's definitely better, and I like the characters better now that they're in a relationship and there's like no cheating happening. I just wish the cheating wasn't in the book at all. But whatever. So they just got in a fight about his mom stealing. And she's like, oh, like, I have that money. Like, I have the extra money, the 12 grand. Like, if you need it that bad, you can have it. Like, I don't care. Like, and she was meaning it to be nice because she doesn't want to just have the money and sit on it. Like, she wants to do something with her money. She doesn't want to be just another rich girl. And he's taking it as, like, what did he say? Do you even grasp how infantilizing it is to have your girlfriend constantly following you around with her purse open? And she's like, that's not what I do. And she says, the money doesn't mean anything to me. And he said, we know. That's the whole fucking point. You clones throw it around like party favors and expect the rest of us to be grateful for the invitation. Which, I understand where they're both coming from in this situation because, like, obviously, she earned that money herself. It's not like she's throwing away mommy and daddy's money. She's trying to do something with the money that she made for herself. But I can also understand where he's, like, kind of weary about, like, because of just how the people in this area in general have, like, treated him and the people he knows. So yeah, it just kind of sucks that they had this argument about money, but I feel like we all kind of knew it was coming. I don't know, I kind of like the dynamic she has here of, like, rich versus poor, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So he decided he was going to press charges on his mom for stealing his money, which, duh, yeah, he definitely should have done that because $12,000 is a lot of fucking money. They got her, brought her back to South Carolina, and they were like, yeah, you can press the charges, but you're not going to get your money back until later because it's going to be evidence. Which she only spent $2,000 of it, which is still a lot of fucking money. But in the grand scheme of things, like, he was lucky she didn't spend all of it. And he was like, well, if I drop the charges, can I have my money back now? And they were like, well, yeah, because there would be no reason to hold it as evidence. And so he decides to drop the charges. I don't necessarily know if that was the right choice. I can understand. Actually, I can't understand. I've never needed to press charges on anyone, let alone my mom. So I can see how it would be a tough choice, like, either way. And then, you know, things are fine. They tell her, both the boys tell her, like, don't come back. We don't want to see you. Like, you're not really our mom at all because, like, you've never done anything for us. And then things are fine. They go back to normal. And then Mackenzie, at their birthday party, because apparently her birthday's the day before the boys, they're throwing a joint birthday party, and she overhears Heidi, the girl that's, like, always hated her, like, she overhears her and one of the other friends talking and realizes that their relationship is built on a lie, which, like, yeah, I knew this was gonna come, and it's just, the after vibes are really aftering right now. Okay, I have to hope the audio isn't too terrible because they've been out there blowing the sidewalks and stuff. So I have to hope that I can make this through and it not be too terribly loud. If not, I'll just refilm. It's fine. Okay. My thoughts, because I finished. I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads, and I think that might be a little generous. I'm, like, kind of in between 1.5 stars and 2, because I hate that the whole basis of this book was cheating. Literally cannot get past it. The writing in the first part was horrible, so terrible. I did not enjoy the first part. The characters kind of pissed me off. I think her whole, like, basis for her website was fucking stupid, and I think there could have been something better. I did like that at the end. It didn't necessarily help, but the way that where the fuck is it? He did, like, the I'm the boyfriend fail. So like kind of bringing her website back. Because I did like how at the end it showed that he did listen to her, and like really cared about what she was saying. Yeah, I'm really conflicted. Because once Preston was out of the picture and there was no more cheating and like hiding about what she was doing from anybody, I really enjoyed the characters and the story and what she was trying to like do with the dynamics of like rich versus poor. I liked all that better towards the end, but not enough to really give it anything higher than 2 stars, because it kind of I think I had higher expectations for this than I did for the off-campus series. One, the covers of the off-campus series, they're atrocious. Whether it's like the ones that are like the real people or with like the guys, you know, the kind of vibes. I can kind of like put some pictures up here. Those are ugly, and I also think the recovers, like the redesigns of the covers, I think those are just as ugly. So one, these, I know a lot of people hate the cartoon covers. I would rather have cartoon covers like this than covers with real people on them. I just hate real people on covers. It like kind of freaks me out. And I think maybe because it was like, these are more of like a stereotypical romance and not just like a sports romance. Because I feel like sports romances are so limited for the most part. Not that I've read that many of them, because I'm not a sports girly. I don't really care. I think I just had higher expectations because these were written like after those. And it just didn't kind of live up to the expectations I had in my head, which really didn't help. I thought maybe her writing would have gotten better, but her writing is just the same. The first part, it's worse, and then it's kind of like on par with how the rest of the off-campus series was. Yeah, I bought the whole fucking box set like an idiot, but they were like, I bought like all 3 for the price of 1, basically. So I don't, it's fine. When I want something that might make me frustrated, I'll pick up the second one. But I'm kind of like edging out of my summer reads, and I'm gonna start having mostly fall reads now since it's almost September. Yeah, so if you want me to read the rest of these for vlogs, I'll do it. I love hating. But also, if you want me to do a reading vlog for a book I might actually like and enjoy, I can do that too. I know I want to read The Bell Jar. That might be a fun one to have a vlog about. I'm trying to think of other things that I have on my TBR, but I can't necessarily think about them. Oh, I wanted to reread the Beautiful Creatures series because I never finished the last one. And so now that I have those, I got them from my mom's, I can read those. I also got them on Libby. So I'm gonna do probably like a mix of reading and listening to those. But yeah, if you liked this, give me a like, leave me a comment about either this book, other books by Elle Kennedy, other books you think I should read, what your favorite kind of book to hate on is. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. I put out videos whenever I feel like it, mostly. And you can always find me over at RedHotReader on Instagram. That's where I post